Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lewis Speaks 2024, and today I want to talk to you all about the curse of overexposure. This is part two. I initially made a video about how overexposure is definitely ruining our relationships and how we see one another today. I want to kind of expound upon that in this video. Um, Personally, I feel like there are some doors that should not be opened when it comes to relationships and the way that we as human beings interact with one another. In this day and age, oftentimes people celebrate the journey. They talk about satisfying curiosity, being open to new experiences, and oftentimes this is praised and celebrated within every aspect of life. Don't get me wrong. There is a time and a place to definitely have a healthy curiosity about certain things, to explore healthy activities. But I realize that we have definitely opened so many doors that have resulted in our demise. It has resulted in the demise of how we as human beings see one another, how we interact with one another. I see now this gross devaluation in how we treat each other. There's this devaluation of humanity. And you could just see it as plain as day, you know? You got people weaponizing their parts, using their private parts as weapons to trap, to hurt, to entice, and mislead and abuse other people. I see how people have used the sanctity of lovemaking and they've turned it into something that is violent, that is angry, that is almost demonic. You know, they, no pun intended, get off on weaponizing their parts. You know, trying to cast spells with their body parts. You know, men call their penises the magic stick. Women talking about they got magic boxes and how they get men sprung and how it's just a weapon. They have weaponized their bodies and weaponized lovemaking. What once was a beautiful expression of love between two people has now become nothing but a way to vent rage, a way to retaliate, a way to gain and, I guess, seek revenge against someone, you know? Now, women out there trying to get a revenge body. Oh, I'll show him. They want a revenge body, you know? And it's just getting real dangerous out here. You know, we live in a world now where if you have feelings, you're seen as a simp, a fool, someone that gets played easily. You're seen as a sucker. You know, you're seen as somebody who has caught feelings, like feelings are a sickness. You know, the terminology that we use to describe love, we don't call it love making anymore. We say cut it up, beat it up, smack it up, flip it up, tear it up. And the way that gay men have used such violent terminology. Oh, come on, baby, corrupt me. Come destroy this body, destroy me. They're begging other men to destroy them, to corrupt them, you know? To tear into their bodies, to destroy their guts, gut them. The act of gutting someone. I just don't know when the last time that I've heard the expression even love making in our lexicon. That is an outdated expression. Now it's just venting your rage. That's it. And I just feel like we as a society are being overexposed to so much, and it's resulting in us not really valuing one another. We degrade each other, all for the sake of sexual gratification. Tell me something. Why is degradation an aphrodisiac? Why is having someone lick out of your behind something that is celebrated? There's microbes, there's bacteria that come from out your anus and out your rectum, but yet and still people talking about, hey, eat my groceries. In other words, lick out of my behind. And when you are not willing to do that, you're seen as a prude. Oh, judgmental. You're a hater. It's just ridiculous. This world is just too much now. It's too much. And I realize that we are in need of divine intervention, because without divine intervention, we are just going to keep on degrading down to dust. You know, human beings, they know that there's something wildly wrong in the way that we are interacting with one another. Everywhere you turn, from Facebook to Twitter to Instagram, you see stories, you see posts, you see tweets where people are just so disenchanted, so disillusioned, so concerned about the state of relationships today, the state of the world in general. Me personally, I enjoy human relationships, and this is why I talk a lot about them in my videos. I'm definitely curious about the human mind and how people relate with one another. At the same time, I'm looking at this world and I just want to hide in my apartment. I just want to hide because I can't believe within the span of like about 15 years, 20 years, this war has degraded to the point where you can't find any decent people anymore. Even the decent people are becoming tainted. I guess they're tired of being decent and getting played. So they become monsters in and of themselves. And it's just disgusting out here. It's just, we talk about plenty of fish and having so many options, right? Everybody wants options, options, options. But that's the thing. We've been overexposed. So it's like anytime you're with someone, right? They could be your soulmate. They could be your twin flame, right? But the moment that they charge you with the responsibility of taking accountability for some poor behavior, you swap them out with somebody else. Rather than change the behavior, people these days change the person. Oh, you have a problem with me? I guess not showing up on time. Oh, you have a problem with me? Seeing other people or cheating on you? Okay, well then I'll go to this person who does open relationships and they let me cheat with as much as I want. Anytime you have a problem with poor behavior, rather than the person fix the behavior, they actually just get rid of you. And so this is what we have, a bunch of options, right? But these options are not compatible with our evolution. They're not compatible with our growth. They're not. But yet and still we feel powerful when we have all these options. It's the illusion of power, because even when you have all these options, are these people actually right for you? Do they understand you? Do they want to understand you? Do they know who you are deep down inside? Do they really understand you, trauma, history, and all? There's a lot of people who they like you only for what you can do for them. When you stop being beneficial, that's when their love for you stops as well. So when you have someone that genuinely loves and cares for you, you better hold on and you better hold on tight. But once again, we're overexposed on the TV. Television says, no, you don't have to work anything out. They got a problem with you? Swap them. Swipe left, swipe right, swipe, swipe, swipe. You want to get rid of somebody? They have a problem with you once again? Why confront them? Why work things out? Why sit down with somebody and resolve things and work things out? Why? When you could just swipe them and move on to the next. No one's building futures. What they are is settling for moments. They're settling for moments. That's it. We live in the day and age where nobody's building a future. Very few people these days are getting married. And if they are getting married, it's basically to avoid dying alone. Their motivation for marriage is very selfish. It's not because they necessarily love this person and are in love with this person. They just don't want to die alone. They want to build their legacy. It's like no one's really taking the time to get to know one another and understand one another. And I'll say that, understand, because I know a lot of people. I know of them, but I don't understand a lot of people. I don't, and I'll admit that. I don't understand a lot of people, and understanding takes time. It takes a willingness. It takes intentional investment in someone. I don't really think we were meant to understand everybody. Not everybody deserves our understanding. Truth be told, because that right there is reserved for a select few people. But I think a lot of times, we just rush in. We just rush in. And it's that rushing in that causes us significant grief later on down the line, Me personally, I'm a firm believer. And once again, this is just my opinion. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm a firm believer that overexposure can definitely ruin you for love. I'll say that again. Overexposure can ruin you for love. There are so many people who have been overexposed to so many different partners, right? To the point where their partner is no longer attractive to them. They've been overexposed to so many different things sexually. We don't talk about that enough either. How people have been so overexposed sexually to the point where they're not happy with one partner. They gotta have a freaking plethora. They gotta have a smorgasbord, They gotta have just a harem of different partners at their disposal, because one person won't do. They've been overexposed. They've had every hole in their body licked, beat up, whatever, and everything in between. They've swung on chandeliers, did everything outdoors. They've been overexposed to the point where they are no longer able to be happy and be satisfied with just one act of love. They can't do quote unquote vanilla sex. It has to be this over the top, just swinging from chandeliers, flipping back flips, and so here you are feeling inadequate or feeling like you can't somehow satisfy this person. This person is a bucket. And I'll just say that. These people are buckets. They've been stretched from here to Jamaica. Of course they can't feel your love. They've been stretched out. A human penis can no longer do. They need a fist. You see this? You see this? People. Why isn't your partner happy with you? Oh, it's because you're not a fist, or you're not a rabbit, or you're not the rose. You're not a mechanical device. They've had their clitorises burnt completely off. Long live the clitoris. It's crazy out here. Crazy. Nobody's satisfied because they've ruined themselves for love and loving. So I'm just like this. Be careful what you expose yourself to. We were not meant to open every single door. I've known people who have wanted to try crystal meth, right? So curious. They wanted to know. They wanted a different experience. They opened that door. They tried meth. Now they're addicts. Now they have yet another temptation that they have to battle. Yet another struggle that they have to contend with. Life is already hard. You're adding all these additional struggles when your curiosity gets the better of you. We were not intended to open every single door. And this is what people have got to realize. The curse of overexposure. You will definitely ruin yourself for love. You ruin yourself for partnership. You ruin yourself for life satisfaction. You won't be as happy. Why are so many people disenchanted? They burnt out the dopamine structures in their mind from drugs, alcohol, and even pleasurable times. They always need these high times, these elevated times. Everything has to be this drama-filled, just emotionally reactive time. You know, a lot of people also, they can be addicted to certain lifestyles. Very high drama lifestyles, to the point where having a nice calm down partner, a nice chill partner, they're bored. Oh, he's boring. She's boring. Why? Because there's no gun violence? Because there's nobody who is getting murdered or killed or shot every other week? Oh, because they don't cheat on you and give you that stomach flip of always having to worry. They're consistent. Therefore, they're boring. Okay. So we really got to check ourselves. Really got to check yourself and ask yourself, have I been overexposed to the point of self-destruction? To the point of just you're numb. You can be numb. I hope y'all hear me, because I'm starting to wake up and I'm starting to see that, while on the surface, this idea of curiosity and novel experiences might seem attractive, in reality, it's actually ruining people. It's making them disenchanted with their partners, disenchanted with their family members, disenchanted with their friends. They see Instagram where all these friends are going on all these exotic vacations, and they're like, why doesn't my friend do this with me? Why doesn't my friend do that with me? Well, maybe what you see on Instagram is not the truth. Maybe these are actually people that work together in the sex ring. Or they have an OnlyFans together, so they're getting money through OnlyFans, and so they're basically just taking pictures, trying to make it look good, when they don't tell you all the immoral things and debaucherous things that they have to do in order to get on those dinner cruises, in order to get on those boats, in order to take vacations. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you how many times they have cried. Their soul crying out because of all the degrading things that they've had to do to get those things. Let me tell you, I'm here to tell you, y'all, a picture is worth 1,000 lies. Please know that. A picture is worth 1,000 lies. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. These people out here, they've been overexposed. They're not any closer to happy. Trust. They just make it all look good. It's polished. It's filtered. It has heavy veneers. It looks beautiful on the surface. They sell it to you, and it makes you feel, why isn't my life like that? Because your life is the truth. Their life is a well-crafted lie, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. but it's not the truth. And ultimately what ends up happening is that it caves in on them. It caves in on them. I remember, seeing these porn stars. They were so, everything was so glamorous, so beautiful. And then lo and behold, come to find out, they're not doing very well. Many of them are HIV positive. Many of them are not taking care of themselves, their medications. Many of them are battling depression. Many of them are just going through changes, but gotta keep up appearances. Gotta make it look good. That's why you see me here. What you see is what you get. An ironing board, some books, and an iron. This is it. This is the unvarnished truth. Is it glamorous? Let me just say this. I'm grateful. Gratitude is glamorous. That to me is glamorous. Being grateful and just gratitude. But I've realized that even in my own experience, I've been overexposed to a lot of different things, and it has caused me to see people in a different light. It has caused me to avoid certain situations that could probably benefit me, but I avoid them because of that overexposure and the trauma that is associated with that too, because there's a trauma, there's a disillusionment. I know a lot about people. Therefore, I think it's a struggle to really make connections with other people when you know how people think and how they operate. And I think this is our generation in general. We know how people think. We have been exposed to a lot of psychology, pop psychology. We know the mindsets, So my thing is this: what's the solution to overexposure? Definitely expose yourself to healthy things, life-sustaining things, things that motivate you to build with somebody and build a healthy relationship with somebody. All this butt licking and sucking on everything and Roman showers, brown showers, golden showers, all these showers. We were never meant to experience this. When you think about the Garden of Eden and how curiosity ended up destroying not only our first two parents, Adam and Eve, but also all of us. How just that one act of eating from the fruit, that curiosity, ended up destroying an entire world. When you think about that, it really puts things in perspective. So I'm hoping that this message lands safely on your hearts. And I'm hoping that, it motivates you to re-examine how you approach life in terms of being curious about negative things and being curious about the dark side of life, right? It's so alluring. Let's find out about the dark side. Why? Don't open that door. Keep that door closed. Because when you open that door, sometimes you can't close it. And that becomes yet another battle and another struggle and another temptation that you're going to have to fight. Why do it to yourself? So, thank y'all for listening. Peace.